Welcome everyone to this new video on steam formation. In this video I will explain about engineering viewpoint of converting water into steam by heating. Steam is a gaseous form of pure water. It is commonly produced by boiling or evaporating the water. It is an excellent working medium in various thermodynamic systems because of its following properties. Steam is produced from water which is cheap and readily available. Steam can carry large quantity of heat in its superheated state. Steam can be used for power generation in thermal power plants by running steam turbines. Steam can also be used in food processing industries as a hygienic method of heating. In general, steam can be produced by boiling the water in an open vessel. But in order to use it effectively as a heating medium, it has to be produced in a closed vessel under pressure. These vessels are called as boilers. Steam produced at a higher pressure has a higher temperature which can be made to flow easily through a pipe from boiler to the point of use. The procedure of steam formation for working or process heating is as follows. Let us start with 1 kg of ice taken in a closed vessel at minus 10 degrees Celsius temperature, which is less than the freezing point. Since the vessel is closed, its pressure and volume will not change. Let us assume that 1 atmospheric pressure is acting on the vessel. As you all know, 1 atmospheric pressure is the pressure of atmosphere acting on all the bodies present on earth or ground, and its exact value is 101.325 kilopascal or approximated to 1 bar. When heat is supplied by suitable means, the temperature of ice starts increasing until it reaches the melting temperature of ice, that is 0 degrees Celsius, and during this process, ice absorbs its sensible heat. On further addition of heat, ice starts melting at constant temperature of 0 degrees Celsius, and it absorbs latent heat of fusion and converts completely into water at same temperature. As heat addition increases, the temperature of water starts rising until it reaches boiling point or saturation temperature. The heat absorbed by water in reaching this saturation temperature is called as sensible heat. The saturation temperature or boiling point depends on pressure of the vessel. If pressure increases, saturation temperature also increases. For example, at 1 atmospheric pressure, saturation temperature of water is 100 degrees Celsius, whereas at 1.5 atmospheric pressure, saturation temperature is 112 degrees Celsius, and it increases as pressure increases. Once the temperature reaches boiling point, it remains constant with further addition of heat. During this time, vaporization or phase change takes place. Water absorbs its latent heat and converts into dry saturated steam at same saturation temperature. The intermediate stage of water and dry saturated steam is called as wet steam, which is actually a mixture of dry steam and water. The wet steam is visible in the form of mist, whereas dry steam is invisible or colorless. Steam which is completely dry and at saturation temperature is called as dry saturated steam. The percentage amount of dry steam present in the total mass of steam is called as dryness fraction. For example, if the dryness fraction is 0.7, it means 70% of the steam in the mixture of steam and water is dry. Remaining 30% is wet. If the heat addition is continued, the temperature of dry saturated steam starts rising and converts dry steam into superheated steam. The heat absorbed by dry steam is called sensible heat. Total rise in the temperature of superheated steam above the saturation temperature is called degree of superheat. We must know here that the saturation temperature, latent heat and other properties of steam remain same at constant pressure but varies with variation of pressure, and hence the steam table is made which provide details of steam properties change with respect to pressure variation. Superheated steam is more useful as compared to dry steam as it consists of more energy in the form of heat, and if it is used to produce power using steam turbines, it gives a higher thermal efficiency. So this is all about steam formation. Hope you guys understood. Thank you.